The A+ exam is going to ask you some very basic questions or assume that you have a very basic understanding of laptops. And so in this video, I want to go through some of those, and this may look extremely elementary to some of you, but just understand that these are the premises from which they're going to ask you quite a number of questions that could relate to laptops on the exam. So first off, what is a laptop? It is a personal computer for mobile use. Everything about this thing is designed to be carried around. Now, a laptop kind of mimics a desktop. It has a lot of the same components as a desktop. However, all those components are generally smaller in size. They're designed to use less power, and they are generally themselves less powerful. Okay, so like on most laptops, you have hard drives that spin a little bit slower than what we're used to on the desktops. You know, we have less powerful graphics. We have less impressive sound cards, those sorts of things. Okay, usually our processors are slower. But a laptop does give us mobile computing. Now, another thing you need to watch for on the A+ exam is there are fewer upgradable aspects of laptops as compared to desktops. Now, there are three laptop types you need to be aware of. The first one's called a desktop replacement. Now, this provides almost the same capabilities and performance of a desktop. Now, the problem with this kind of laptop is it's larger and much heavier than standard laptops. These things can have like 17-inch screens. You know, they get really kind of bulky and heavy and hard to carry around. A lot of times they won't fit in standard backpacks or laptop cases, that sort of thing, but they do provide a lot of the same functionalities as desktop. Now, the next type is a sub notebook, and a sub notebook is also known as an ultra portable, and these things are designed with an emphasis on portability. Now, some of the Sony Vaio laptops were marketed as being, you know, thinner than everything else and lighter than everything else, and for quite a while in the marketplace, the thinner and the lighter, the more expensive and the more in demand these things were. You know, you have Apple's AirBook now. And so these are smaller and lighter than standard laptops, as opposed to desktop replacements, which are larger and heavier than standard laptops. Now, often with sub notebooks, you have smaller displays, 13 inches or less, no optical media drive. So if you want a DVD or a CD burner, you have to get a USB version of that to plug in, those sorts of things. Then there's the netbook. Now, this thing has gotten extremely popular. They're very small in size. As a matter of fact, they seem to be building them just large enough to put almost a standard keyboard on them. They're very lightweight, they're energy efficient, they're also very low cost. You can get these things for some cases less than $200. They're designed specifically for wireless communication and internet access. Now, these things are not designed to be workhorses from the standpoint of processor power, graphics capabilities, or anything. They really are designed to connect to the internet, do email, those sorts of things, and to run web applications and cloud applications. They're not designed to load a lot of locally resident software. You can certainly load things like Microsoft Office and all that kind of stuff on there, but they really weren't designed for that. They were designed to connect to the internet and work that way. So that's the three types, of course, in addition to the standard laptop type that we've been seeing for years. Now, laptops utilize LCD screens, and there are three main standard resolutions you need to be aware of for the exam. WXGA, which is 1280 by 800. This is an extremely popular laptop resolution. There's one called HD. It's 1366 by 768. And then there's WSXGA Plus, and this one is 1680 by 1050. So make sure you understand these basics about laptops, and it will get you pretty far down the road when it comes to answering some of the laptop questions on the A+ exam.